Jenna Welch Bush Hager is an American news personality, author, and journalist. She is the co-host of Today with Jenna and Chanel, the fourth hour of NBC's morning news program. Jenna Bush Hager's co-host search unfolded as a public-facing transition layered with speculation and intrigue, and in that space between announcement and outcome, observers began to project meanings that felt larger than logistics, turning the process into a mirror for how audiences interpret power, identity, and intention within media institutions, often described as unmasking a secret agenda that was less about hidden plots and more about the complex choreography of modern television. For Jenna, the search was personal and professional at once, rooted in chemistry, trust, and the delicate art of conversation that invites viewers in rather than talks at them. Yet it also carried the weight of expectation from a network balancing tradition with reinvention. As names circulated and guest appearances rotated, every smile, question, and moment of ease was scrutinized for signs of preference or strategy, creating a narrative that suggested decisions were being shaped by forces beyond simple compatibility. In reality, the process reflected a convergence of practical concerns, audience engagement, long-term sustainability, and evolving cultural sensibilities, filtered through the human need for connection on screen. Jenna's presence, warm and disarming, became the constant amid change, and that steadiness highlighted how much a co-host role is about balance rather than dominance. The idea of a secret agenda emerged from the opacity inherent in corporate decision-making, where timelines, contracts, and testing phases are rarely visible, leaving space for conjecture to flourish. Viewers projected hopes and anxieties onto the search, reading it as a referendum on values, representation, and the future tone of the show, while the network quietly assessed dynamics that cannot be fully measured by metrics alone. Jenna navigated this period with grace, aware that every interaction could be interpreted as a clue, yet committed to authenticity over performance. The search revealed how networks operate at the intersection of art and commerce, seeking a pairing that could honor the show's legacy while adapting to shifting viewer habits, a task that requires patience and experimentation rather than secrecy. As guest co-hosts cycled through, the audience witnessed a living audition not just for a seat beside Jenna, but for a shared sensibility, curiosity without condescension, humor without cruelty, and empathy without pretense. The speculation about hidden motives often overlooked the simplest truth: chemistry is elusive, and finding it takes time. Jenna's role in the process underscored her influence, not as a power broker, but as a collaborator invested in protecting the conversational intimacy that defines the show. The network's decisions, seen from the outside as strategic maneuvers, were also acts of risk management, mindful that the wrong fit could disrupt a fragile ecosystem built on trust. In this environment, transparency competes with the need for discretion, and what appears secretive can be the byproduct of careful stewardship rather than manipulation. Jenna's co-host search became a case study in how audiences decode institutional behavior, often filling gaps in information with narratives that reflect broader concerns about media control and authenticity. Yet throughout the process, the focus remained on the table, the space where stories are shared, laughter finds room, and viewers feel recognized. The eventual resolution mattered less than the journey, which illuminated the pressures faced by public figures during transitions that invite both affection and suspicion. Jenna's steadiness offered reassurance that the heart of the show was not up for negotiation, even as its format evolved. In unmasking what some called a secret agenda, the process instead revealed a familiar truth about television: that behind the scenes, decisions are shaped by a mix of data, instinct, and the ineffable spark that makes conversation feel alive.
Jenna Bush Hager's co-host search, then, was not a tale of concealment, but of calibration, demonstrating how networks and hosts alike strive to align vision with reality while navigating the noise that surrounds every visible choice.